What an embarrassing performance that was. The New Jersey Devils have tied the series up at 2. Don't let the score mislead you. This was an absolutely terrible game by the New York Rangers. Basically lacked effort from start to finish. And, the Rangers, look, if they go down in the series, and it's different, but the Rangers were up 2-0 versus the Lightning. Again, circumstances are not equal, but they're up 2-0, had a chance in game 3, blew it in that case. The other night, game 3, it was there for the taking. That one could have went either way. They lose it, right? And so individually, it's not terrible. Like, they didn't play a horrible game. Devils won. This was just absolutely embarrassing. This felt like a November regular season game. This felt like a fucking stroll in the park for this team. I mean, again, we'll see where the rest of the series goes, but there was also a reason why I was concerned about the Devils. And New Jersey, a young team, it was an eye-opening experience for them the first 2 games, and the Rangers had a chance to just put them out in game 3. Had a chance and could not do it. Could not close them out. Rangers win game 3, the series is over. Totally over. And now it's 2-2 headed back to the Prudential Center. Home ice doesn't mean a thing in this series, although, to be fair, I can't see New Jersey losing all 4 at home. I just can't see it. Eventually, that has to end. So now Game 5 is absolutely critical. And now it's a best of 3. So, but there is a laundry list of players, coaches, and Gallant, who, really, really deserve a lot of criticism. Let's start from the top. Artemi Panarin, I've said it. The guy can't perform in the playoffs. He can't. His style of play is such that he can't. And, he looked good. Game 1, he had 2 points early. I don't think he's done shit since. I don't think he has any points since. And the power play again tonight, 0 for 3. You got to change it. Zibanejad's got to be on the left. Zibanejad being in the middle of the ice on the power play makes no sense. And speaking of Zibanejad, so frustrating. So with Panarin, it's like, there's really no hope for playoff-wise. There's no hope for Panarin for me. Not to say that he won't have, if you play enough games, you're going to come through at times. Zibanejad, what it's reminiscent of, if you remember last year, he didn't do anything really until game 6 against Pittsburgh. The first 5 games, Zibanejad did nothing. And then once he got going, he couldn't be stopped. So, will it be too late? Because Zibanejad, that's a huge disappointment there. So those are the 2 main ones, but there's a lot more. Where to go next is not particularly easy. Going into the game, I thought Trocheck deserved a lot of blame. And look, Trocheck scores the 1 goal in this game, but I still didn't love his game that much either. Face-offs, he's supposed to be good. I'm kind of 46% seems generous. The Rangers were awful on face-offs. Akira Schmid wasn't even tested. Last game, sure, you want to have Schmid be a storyline. Yeah, this was nothing. He wasn't tested at all. Vitek Vanacek would have done the same. This had nothing to do with Akira Schmid. Who else? Okay, fourth line is, and I know that's not a huge deal. The fourth line is it's not good. It's really not good. And I was a big proponent of this fourth line. I said, hey, you get rid of Ryan Reeves, you have Goodrow, Montvisi. That you think it's a good fourth line. It really isn't. And Gallant has them out there with 5 minutes left. And then at the very end, he has Goodrow out there with a 6-on-5. I mean, you got to be fucking kidding me. That doesn't make any sense. So they're not good. The kid line, the one player I'll give credit to, Kakko at least is trying. I'll say that. He's trying out there. Hedl, he's been underwhelming. Philip Hedl, who I have probably the highest expectations of the 3. Hedl, not great at all. And Lafreniere, whatever. I mean, it's just funny. You see what Jack Hughes does on the opposite side. Compared to Lafreniere, it's not even close. Jack Hughes is the best player on the ice. I said it during the regular season. Jack Hughes is the best player on the ice. Makes an amazing, breakaway early on and goal. And meanwhile, Jonas Siegenthaler, who was a healthy scratch in game 2, had that pass to Hughes and scores the game-winning goal as well. Very, very frustrating. And then, look, 5-on-5, like Kreider and Kane, 5-on-5. What's really going on there? nothing at all. So a lot of blame to go around for sure. It's not good. It's not good. And if you really want to make a deep playoff run, every series can't go 6 or 7 games. That's the secret. It's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. So, the first 2 games were a tease in a lot of ways. Could the Rangers still win the series? Yes, they can. But this was just absolutely pathetic. Like, really, this is a playoff game we're talking about. A home playoff game. I mean, they gave no reason for the crowd to get into it at all. Just absolutely embarrassing by the New York Rangers. There's just no other way to put it. Like, really, really bad. And so what could have been a 3-0 lead, what could have been, it's now 2-2. And the Prudential Center will be loud. Look, the Rangers, they know they can win there, but boy, I don't know. You hope there's a response by the Rangers. They sure as hell need it because this was embarrassing. So we start out, and the Rangers had a chance. The kid line was on, had an opportunity, and Siegenthaler makes a nice play to Jack Hughes, who was cherry picking. He was. And Adam Fox is kind of the main culprit here. Lindgren maybe a little bit more. Fox was trying to, and he's usually good at this, with his stick in the air, stop it at the blue line and keep the play going. But he missed it, and so Hughes is in a breakaway. And Hughes great move, breakaway goal. And that set a huge, huge tone in this game. So it's Hughes' 3rd goal in the series, assisted by Siegenthaler, who made that pass after a nice save by Schmid. That was bad. And then from there, the Devils, to me, they could have done whatever they wanted in this game. They played really well defensively, but then once the Rangers eventually tied it, the Devils went back on the offense and they scored. Like, the Devils, at all turns, were going to win this game. New Jersey absolutely deserved to win this game. So you look at the series, it's like Rangers deserved 1 and 2, Devils deserved 4. 3, that could have went either way, and Jersey got it. And that's huge. That could be the difference in series. But the Rangers deserve no. I don't feel bad for them. Like, this was, you lose game 3 and you get rid of that. But what it did was it gave the Devils confidence. The Devils didn't play all that. They played good enough in game 3. They didn't play great, but that Dougie Hamilton game-winning goal, my fear was like, that might have just waken them up, and it looks like it did. And the Devils played really, really well, in my opinion. Really well. So the Devils take a 1-0 lead. Rangers get a couple of power plays in the first. And again, you got to change it up. And I know it worked well the first couple of games in the series, but Zibanejad's got to be ready for that one-timer on the left side, not Panarin. You got to switch it up. I don't know. Look, I don't know the exact formula. It needs to be different. Dougie Hamilton, high six, Trocheck at 417. No luck for the Rangers. Timo Meier, delay game soon thereafter, 16:56. No goal there either. And the Rangers, this was kind of against the flow of the play. Like, the Rangers weren't playing well when Hamilton high six, Trocheck. They have these opportunities. They don't do anything with it. And before the power play is over, Tarasenko trips Howla. So it becomes 4-on-4. Nothing comes of that. And it is a 1-0 Devil lead going into the second. And, the Devils, the Rangers' second period was even worse. The first period was bad. The second period was even worse. It was, I can't say it enough. It was just a fucking abomination. So at 4:20, Trouba interferes with Palat. Rangers kill that off. And then at 10:39, Lazar holds Kakko, but the Rangers don't score. That would be it for the penalties for the rest of the night. So the Rangers were lucky to only be down 1-0 going to the third. And in the third early, they actually tie it. It's Trocheck, his first of the series from Kreider and Kane at 142. And what do you know? Trocheck wins the faceoff, gets to the middle of the ice, and he scores. And, that was a puck that Schmid probably could have stopped. But the Rangers tied up at 1. And then the Devils get going a little bit, and they retake the lead at 8:22. It's Jonas Siegenthaler, his first of the series from Hischier and Hamilton. It was a cross-size pass from Hischier to Siegenthaler, and it is one that Igor probably would like to have back. But really, it's the first kind of iffy goal Igor gave up all series. This has not been his fault at all. But in a big spot like that, you wish you got the save, but you can't harp on it. Because again, Shesterkin, he is the last person that should be blamed. So the Devils take a 2-1 lead. And that was a play where that was, and there was a line, there was a tweak. One that I kind of don't agree with, although I guess it did lead to a goal, was Trocheck and Zibanejad swapped. So now you have Zibanejad with Panarin and Tarasenko, and man, that Zibanejad and Panarin, it's like those two aren't doing shit. So I think I'd probably go back. I'd probably switch that up and have Zibanejad in between Kreider and Tarasenko, and have Trocheck in between Panarin and I said that wrong. I'd probably have Zibanejad in between Kreider and Kane, and Trocheck in between Panarin and Tarasenko. That's where I'd probably go with it. So that makes it 2-1 Devils, and then just honestly awful. Rangers got nothing going. I mean, on the 6-on-5, it was bad. The Rangers were just out there for just a little old skate, and that was it. The Rangers weren't going to win this game. And so Andre Palat seals it with an empty net goal at 1934 from Bratton Halla, and the Devils win at 3-1. Again, just awful. Awful. And so game 3 was different. I didn't love it, but it was different. It was even, and it really could have went either way. This one, the Devils were outworked. Absolutely outworked the Rangers. They should be really ashamed. And so now, a couple days in between, and now it's a best-of-3 series. This series heads back to the Prudential Center. And it is a huge, huge game. It really is, because, if the Rangers can somehow bounce back and win this, then you go back to the Garden, where you haven't had success, but you go back up 3-2, and you hope to finish it out. On the flip side, Devils take a 3-2 lead. It's like they're in complete control of the series, having taken 3 straight, and then you're feeling like it could be like a Tampa Bay situation, although this is even worse in the sense that the stakes were higher there, of course, during the conference final, and game 3, you had a 2-0 lead. I mean, whereas this one, it's like you won both games on the road. You just got to split at MSG, and they could not do it. So, absolute frustration. Really, just a joke of a game. And so now we'll see what happens. The series is now 2-2. The great work that had been done in games 1 and 2 completely wiped out as the Rangers go back to Madison Square Garden and feebly lose games 3 and 4.